Hi, I'm Mike Mandel.
And I'm Chris Thompson. And we're from
MikeMandelHypnosis.com.
And we've got something for you here on Facebook that we think you're really going to love. It's a hypnosis training video that our students are loving, and it's about instant and rapid inductions.
So stay right here because we're going to cut to that video in just a moment. And here's what you're going to get. You're going to get the principles of how rapid and instant inductions actually work.
Then, if you want to go further, we have something awesome for you. We have a video training course called Hypnotic Power Inductions. It's about an hour of video and another hour of supplementary audio, and we traditionally have sold this as a DVD-CD combo for $97. But we finished converting it into a digital product that you can get instant online access to. And for a limited time, we're experimenting with giving it away to you for only $7.
Only $7.
So I can't promise how long we're going to keep this offer up, but here's what I can tell you. Check out the tutorial that we're going to cut over to right now. If you like the tutorial, you probably want to check out the course. Or you can just click the link in this video post and it'll take you straight to the area where you can claim that course. Enjoy the tutorial.
Hypnosis, rapid and instant inductions. What is the difference, or is there a difference at all? With this video, you'll discover there's a huge difference between the two, and you'll discover the ways they can be used very rapidly. And you'll get the skills if you apply these to utilize them in stage hypnosis in front of hundreds or thousands of people where they look really cool, street hypnosis when you want to freak people out, or if you're a hypnotherapist or practicing hypnotist, using them in your practice to create amazing trances in short periods of time. But we like to define these terms very, very clearly because the water is muddied around them as to what they actually are. So here's the definition I'm using. A rapid induction is an induction that takes place within a minute or two and opens the door into trance and gets the person descending into a hypnotic state very, very quickly. You're not doing a 40-minute induction. An instant induction goes even faster than this and will put people in trances, often very deep, in a matter of seconds. So it gives you a variety of tools that can be used in a lot of different settings, and it shows you the means of applying them, just depending which one you decide to use at any given time. We put both of these in one single category. We call them power inductions, meaning not some laborious talking, you're getting sleepy, boring people into trance, but inductions that have a very high success rate, are punchy, to the point, and the kind of induction you can be very confident in using because you're going to get the results you want. So rapid inductions, instant inductions. Does it really matter which is faster or which one you're going to use? The bottom line is either one will get you into a trance in pretty quick time. But there is a difference between the two kinds of induction, and they work through different principles. And that's what I want to explain to you now. So let's look at the whole idea of a hypnotic state being a door that you have to take the client through or lead the client through. And on the other side of this door is a trance, whatever that happens to be. It's a good metaphor. So to get them through the door may be securely locked. The door may be hanging off the hinges. It doesn't really matter because with these two different types of inductions, they both approach opening the door or bypassing this door through different means. The one method, the rapid induction, is the use of a crowbar. You basically force the door open or open it a little bit. The light gets in and now you can rush through that door and take the person down into trance. You've gotten past the level of resistance that the door represents. Now in an instant induction, so-called, you're not prying it open. In fact, you're sort of putting some C4 explosives around and blowing the door off its hinges. So you're forcing it open super fast, super easily, and then the person is in a trance. In both of these cases, you have to deepen the trance to get the maximum effect. But let's deconstruct them one at a time. The first one is the crowbar approach, which is the rapid induction. So the rapid induction works with something called catalepsy. Catalepsy is one of the means of bypassing the critical faculty in the conscious mind and getting the person into a trance. For example, it's something that is called a leverage induction or leverage induction when you utilize catalepsy. Now, if you're from Britain, you'll say leverage. If you're from the US, you'll say leverage. It's the same thing. This is basically applying a lever to the door and forcing it open. That's your crowbar. The lever in this case is catalepsy, which is just simply having a limb become rigid, floating, whatever you want it to do. So if you see somebody in a trance and their hand is floating in the air like this, their hand is cataleptic. If their eyelids won't open, the muscles will become cataleptic. The muscles are just not functioning due to the hypnotic response. Now, how is this important? It's really important because when you understand this, you recognize that there's two different ways of going about this. I can create a hypnotic trance and cause catalepsy. by suggesting it. Your hand's becoming cataleptic. Cataleptic, it's floating in the air, it's rigid. Or I can create a cataleptic hand and automatically get a hypnotic trance. So the kind of induction you learn with a leverage induction doesn't even bother with the trance right away. Instead, we create a cataleptic floating limb which pries open the door and we get trance by default. It's an amazing thing. So all of these rapid inductions involve some sort of confusion or prestige or another way of opening the door. The one we prefer is catalepsy, creating a floating or rigid limb and then segueing that into a trance state. Very powerful stuff. So let's summarize the process of using catalepsy, this waxy immobility of muscles where the agonist and the antagonist are balanced against each other. Let's see how we utilize this to cause a trance. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I have to pre-frame with the person. I have to clear some space and get them ready to go into trance. And you'll see a lot of stuff on YouTube and all over the web where someone seemingly comes up to someone at a subway station or in a 7-Eleven or something like that and puts them in a trance instantly with no preamble. This is probably not happening. You are not seeing the stuff that has gone on beforehand, the hypnotic induction that's taken place off screen, whatever. You do have to pre-frame. You have to prepare the person. So I might have the person sit in the chair, rest their feet comfortably, ask them, are you ready to go into a trance? I'm getting a yes from them. I will extend my hand to them now, step 2. And what is happening in Western culture is we get a lot of things built in purely culturally as unconscious programs. So, for example, if I hold up my hand to someone and smile, their hand will naturally rise to shake mine. It just happens. It's a program, a tote it's called, that's running in the background. So the person's prepared. I've maybe done some suggestibility tests, told them they couldn't get their hands apart, or given them some of the classic tests which build something called heteroaction, starts them moving. And now I'll say, I'll put my hand out. I might say, can I borrow that hand, dissociating it, but I'm putting my hand out to them and their hand naturally rises with one form of this induction. Then I say, eyes closed now as I take their hand, and by touching it lightly and in a very specific way, guess what happens? Their hand becomes cataleptic and floats in the air. I never say to them, your hand's going to float, your hand is lifting, your hand is floating in the air. No, none of that stuff. Just the motion itself with the pre-frame. Their eyes will be shut, their hand will be hovering in the air. Guess what you got? You've used catalepsy to create a trance in a very short period of time, less than a minute. And now we can go on to step 3. I have to deepen the trance to make sure it's robust enough to give them any kind of suggestions. Look how easily we can do this. You don't need some kind of hypnotic depth scale, or you're level 16 or level 31. Nonsense. We use the hand as a gauge. So now their hand is floating in the air. I'm going to say to them, and as you go even deeper into trance, your hand will sink down, and when it touches down in your lap, you are ready for all sorts of wonderful suggestions, whatever I say. And as their hand sinks, I just say, that's right, your hand is sinking, you're going deeper. They are giving me an external gauge of their own hand sinking, and they are showing me that the process is working. So let's recap real brief here. I prepare them, I get them involved, they're sitting, they're ready, they're focused. I'm not just going up to some person standing next to an elevator and doing this. I put my hand out, their hand rises, I say, eyes closed now, pass my hand in front of their face, and by touching their hand in a very specific, non-specific way, it becomes cataleptic and floats. And then I'll have their hands sink as they go even deeper. Amazingly powerful stuff. I'm using leverage to force the door open, which I quickly turn into a trance through the power of a cataleptic limb. So what about the instant induction? We've already said that the rapid induction gives you leverage. It pries the door open like with a crowbar. The instant induction is the C4, the Semtex, the high explosives that blow the door open, pushing the person into trance really quickly. Now, regardless of what you see on YouTube videos, you can't just walk up to random people and startle them into trances and expect them to stay there. It's not going to happen. You have to do some degree of setup and fixating of their attention first. So I meet someone on the street. They're all milling around downtown Toronto or wherever, and there's some young people hanging out. We get talking about hypnosis. I've got to get them to like me first. Oh, I'm here doing hypnosis today. Are you interested? Yes, yes, yes. Get them interested, saying yes, they're happy. Get someone who is willing. Yes, I'd like to experience hypnosis. Now you're going to give them a couple of simple tasks, and this clears some space. Put your feet together. Let your arms relax. Take a deep breath. All of this is motivating them towards going into hypnosis. They've already agreed they're going to. Now I want to fixate their attention as part of the setup. It could be look at my left eye, which is a great one, or focus on my fingertip, whatever it is. At which point, once I've got their attention and they've cleared some space, they're ready to go in their mind, I'm going to fire what's called a PGO spike. This is pons geniculate body occiput. This is in the physical part of the brain. It's a superhighway. When this fires, it fires when you're startled, when you see something amazing like a magic trick that freaks you out or someone scares you. This superhighway fires, temporarily shuts down your prefrontal cortex, and your brain will let information in as part of your survival mechanism. So I'm going to startle the person. So as they're looking at my eye, fixated attention, I might just say something like, okay, take a deep breath, and I'll just have their hand or their wrist, and I'll say, take a step forward. And as they do, I'll give them a jolt on their hand and yell, sleep. This is coming out of left field. They're not expecting it. And you'll instantly get a spike because I freak them out. And then I have to immediately deepen the trance that I'm getting. If I don't, they'll go, wow, what was that? But if I tap them on the shoulder, hold their wrist and go deeper and deeper, that's right, you feel fantastic. Keep going deeper and deeper. I now have a robust trance in a matter of seconds. So I'm getting a compliant person, someone who wants to go into trance. I've got their attention. I've given them a couple of simple things to do. Take a breath. Let your arms hang. Look at my left eye, whatever. I have my hand on the back of their head. I'm not going to yank their neck and hospitalize them. And take a step forward. And as they do, I can sleep. I just fire this word past the critical faculty as I shock them. Actually, it's about a second after the jolt. The jolt causes the spike. It's going into the unconscious. Bottom line is, if you do this consistently, there's all kinds of methods of doing it that are absolutely amazing. You can get people in phenomenal trances very, very quickly. Okay, you now understand the basic structure of the rapid versus the instant induction, and you're light years ahead of a lot of hypnotists out there who are so busy reading scripts at each other, they never learn this stuff. So what's next? Now you've just got to get the tools so that you can apply these things. You need the actual inductions. Now you know the principles. And we're here to help you get to the absolute next level and beyond with your hypnotic training. We have something awesome for you. This is my power induction video training. And it's amazing because you get 6 different hypnotic inductions, all filmed at the University of Toronto with random subjects, and they're incredibly powerful techniques. Also, you get 6 audio tracks as well that will explain and deconstruct the video stuff that you're watching, so you get all the detail and all the inner secrets to make this work right away. This is an awesome deal because hundreds and hundreds of people worldwide have paid $97 for this. But today, we're going to throw our sanity out the window and we're going to give you a no-brainer offer. Not $97, but $7 for a digital product. You won't have to wait for something to arrive in the mail. In seconds, you can be watching and learning these incredibly powerful methods of getting people into hypnosis. Act now, because I don't know how long we're going to keep this up. We are clearly insane doing this. So when you take advantage of this insanely good offer, you will have all of these hypnotic skills at your fingertips immediately and begin to apply them in your own life. See you in the training area.